Welcome back to our introduction to financial services industry. I added this section to the discussion about equities because I was working on the section about corporate actions. And I decided it was good to take a moment and talk a little bit about Google as an example of an equity, and some of the things we've been talking about with regards to stocks and their identification and corporate actions. So let me just go into this example here. I'll skip over the disclaimer. So Google's interesting because I think the original name of the company was Google, and then they decided to change the name of the company to Alphabet Incorporated. So that was a corporate action. The board of the company did a corporate action to change the name of the company. So the issuer of the stock was Google, and they changed the name of the company. So now the issuer is Alphabet. So Google is still the stock, it's still traded, but the issuer, which is the company, is now named Alphabet. So that was a corporate action where the name of the company changed. The company is the issuer. So the issuer is Alphabet Incorporated. So if you go up and you look up, you want to buy stock in Google, you're actually buying stock in an issuer in a company called Alphabet Incorporated. But what's really interesting here is there's a Class A, a Class B, and a Class C issue of Google stock. The Class A issue is traded under the name under the symbol GOOGL. And it has one voting right. So one share has one vote. And that's how it's traded on the NASDAQ. So the symbol on the NASDAQ, GOOGL, is the A issue. And the A issue of Google, traded as GOOGL, has one vote for every one share. Now there's also a C issue. And the C issue is also traded on the NASDAQ market, and it trades under the symbol GOOG. So someone could, the difference with the C issue is the C issue has no voting rights. So obviously it trades for a little bit less. Customers are going to pay a premium for the shares that have voting rights, the A issue. So this is where there can be some confusion. So somebody says, I want to buy Google, and they go on the NASDAQ and they look up Google and they see Goog and they buy that stock. It's a little cheaper. But they're buying the C issue if they buy GOOG, whereas if they buy GOOGL, that symbol, they're getting the A issue, which has voting rights. It's a different class of stock. So they're both common stock, but they're different classes. Now this can cause confusion. And a matter of fact, I believe if we look back in the history, they actually did a corporate action that was a little bit of a name change, where they not only changed the name of the company, later on, they also changed the name of the symbols. I think the A issue used to be called GOOG, and then they swapped it, and they moved it around. So you should just be very aware here that there are different classes of stock. So if you're telling somebody saying, hey, I bought Google, and look, I got a great price. Well, did you buy the A issue or the C issue? Now, in addition, I want to note here, Google also has a B issue, but the B issue is not traded on the market. It's not for sale for the public. The public can't buy the B issue. The B issue is only held by the founders of the company. And one share of the B issue has 10 votes. So obviously, this is a way that that the founders, Larry Page and Sergey Brin and Eric Schmidt, and a couple others, that how they maintain control, right? So going back to our early discussion about how you have a board of directors. Board of directors are hired by the shareholders. The shareholders have votes depending on their stock. This gets kind of complicated, and this is how people apply strategy to different shares to have controlling the company. So I guess my point here is really when you're buying stock, when you're taking positions, and you're identifying a particular share of stock, it's important that that you know what you're getting. Are you getting a non-voting share? Are you getting a voting share? Are you getting a common stock? Are you getting preferred stock? What are you actually purchasing? And I'll talk a little bit more on this on a section about corporate actions. But I thought I'd add this to the second on equities because I think it's kind of an interesting example of what went on here, where the name of the company changed to Alphabet, and they actually changed around their symbols, and they've got several symbols trading on the same market, and some are voting and some are non-voting, so there can be some confusion. Again, non-voting shares will usually sell for less than voting shares. So just something for someone to be aware of. Okay, well, thank you very much, and hope to see you on the next video.